now that we've fought basically all of the main people here, are you ready to do like a final tentative ranking?
Well, my goodness, the one we just did, I really liked, and I would put that, bless you, and I would put that ahead of the sunflower one.
I also, that's one of my favorites. Not fully decided yet where I would put that.
Other than that, I think my ranking is pretty much going to stay the same as far as, we'll have to go over who everyone is. I'll tell you my tops are, Bale, of course, he's going to remain my top guy.
Yeah.
And then second, I want to see the fight again, but I know I just enjoyed it so much. I want to say Elle before and Rolana.
Yep.
Hold my second.
Mm.
Okay, this one that we just did, maybe also because it's just fresh in my mind.
Yeah.
But I really liked it. It might be third.
Mm-hmm.
Because I know for sure it's ahead of the captain guy that I had before.
Yeah.
I know I put it in front of Sunflower. I think the captain was after Sunflower anyway.
Mm.
But, and then, I like the Mesmer fight.
Yeah.
Okay. For right now, I'm gonna leave it my top 3. Because I already know that, I mean, I do have to see Rolana's fight again, but I just don't see really where it's going to change for me.
Yeah.
I just enjoyed her.
Yeah. Oh, good news is that when I'm editing the footage, I might have already mentioned this, or maybe I just thought about it and I didn't actually say it. When I'm editing the footage, I can see Rolana doing all that stuff. Yeah,
that's what you did, yeah.
Yeah.
And that was part of what I enjoyed. I could just as unprofessional as it was for her.
Yeah.
Not unprofessional, but, well,
kinda.
Professional fighter. Yeah, so I think I'm still gonna leave her second. I think those are my 3 right now. Top 3. And pretty much everyone else is gonna be close. Except for the captain. He's I like his fight a lot, but he's gonna come in after some of these other guys.
Yeah. And I'm guessing Ramana and the fingers are lower.
Way low. Last and second to last.
What about the putrescent knight? Where does he fall in relation?
Pretty low.
Oh, what about the Divine Beast Dancing Lion?
He's pretty high.
Mm.
He's pretty high up.
Would he be like above or below the commander and the Sunflower?
Below the Sunflower. And probably right above the commander, or they might be, they're close.
Yeah.
They're close. I enjoyed those both. I really enjoyed the commander one.
Yeah. We didn't, that's another one that I suppose when we're done, when I'm going back through it again, I can show you that one again. Because we didn't really get to spend that much time on him.
No. It would have been, I think, nice to see him a little more.
Yeah.
The porcupine is, I like, and that's definitely above centipede and fingers.
Hmm.
And it's a very pretty one.
Yeah.
But as far as the actual fight,
Well, I would say take like everything into account when giving the rankings.
music and all.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, so that's funny because Rolana's music I wasn't as taken with as some, not to mean I wasn't taken with it, but it didn't hit me like some of the other musics do.
Yeah.
Like, isn't it the commander that uses the
Yeah, the same commander Neil.
Yeah, well, so doing that, the fact that I like to fight and I love the music, he goes up ahead.
Yeah. I do find it pretty funny how, like, basically everyone else has new music, but despite the fact that that's the case, simply using music that already existed that was a good one is enough to make us really like him, which is fair because it's good music.
Yeah. And he's got a horse, so it's great music. He's got a horse.
Well,
that isn't her.
Well, it was a bard, and
Well, it was, wasn't it?
Yeah.
That's okay.
Close enough.
That's right, it was.
Yeah.
Why was I thinking this one? I think maybe I was throwing in the yelling.
Yeah. Because we were bringing him up as
we were bringing him up when we were doing it.
I really do feel like he probably did have some inspiration there, some Sekiro inspiration.
That stance was pretty darn cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. You want a piece of me?
Oh, let's watch this again to see if we can pick up anything new.
Okay.
So he has fire coming from him, but it doesn't look like Messmer's fire.
You don't think so?
I don't think
Just
so because...
then it did a little bit from the basket. Well, the basket is the basket hit fires.
Oh, yeah?
At long last you are returned. Tarnished one. Aspiring lord of the old order. If you have known sin, if you grieve for this world, then yield the path forward to us. To I, Miquella, and my promised consort, Radahn.
No. No.
My answer is still no.
Yep. It does make me very curious what exactly... Because I think I am right. Miquella seems to have been, like, corrupted somehow. Or, like, since he's abandoned everything that he cared about. It does make sense that he would become bad.
Well, I have a question.
Mm.
He basically stripped himself of everything.
Yes, his
Not
love,
just
his
good.
compassion, his fear.
Well, not just all the good stuff. He
Yeah.
stripped himself.
Yeah.
So why did bad be the one that stayed?
Good question. Maybe it isn't that he's bad. And maybe he's nothing at all. All that's left of him is an image, like an illusion of what everyone thinks he is.
I think that's it. Because why he stripped himself of everything? Unless there's another message there that bad always conquers, or bad will never go away.
If you don't have love, yeah.
Then bad will take over.
Remember how at the very beginning I had the idea that a theme of this DLC will be the corruption of purity?
Uh-huh.
I think that is what's being portrayed here too.
So don't strip yourself of your love or you're just going to be bad. You're not going to be nothing, you're going to be bad.
Yeah. It is interesting though, because Miquella isn't outwardly evil. He seems to... I think you might be right in that he's not necessarily bad, it's more so that he's nothing. because it could just be that he's manipulating people, but I don't even necessarily think that's it, because he has that angelic appearance.
Very, very much so in the voice as well.
Yeah. Which makes it seem like it's just projecting what Miquella originally was. Which I initially thought was part of a manipulation thing, but it might very well be the case that it's just a leftover of what Miquella was.
Yeah, it's gonna be it's too hard to read him. Because now, I can't make him fall below 3. And then who do I kick out? I mean, look at him. Cool.
Yeah, Radon is definitely going to be an interesting one to rate. In addition to that, I don't know what happens during the part of the fight when Miquella comes in. Like, that part, I still haven't yet to grasp what exactly is going on. So once I get that, I'll be able to form an actual opinion on it. Right now, I'm more than anything else just confused whenever Miquella shows up. Because there's all the light happening, and then I'm not sure what any of it is. Again, though, I'm really glad that Radon got another chance to have a good fight.
Yeah. Yeah.
And, like,
He
even
is, too.
Yeah, he is. On that subject, I was thinking about that again, like, in regards to the Kenneth height thing. And...
Do you realize, see, Kenneth is a star. And we have to rate him as a fighting person because do you realize every time we play this game, his name has come up at least once?
That's true. Well, we can't not think of Kenneth, is the thing.
True. So, I mean, he's rated, like, probably number 1. Because he's not even in the game, and he's, like, a star.
Yeah. Can you imagine, like, out of everyone who doesn't have a fight in these games, like all the characters who we don't fight, can you imagine, like, having fights against them, like boss fights? Like, can you imagine a Kenneth boss fight?
No. No, I really, no.
But I'm imagining,
it would
like...
be like when you were trying to fight those one guys and you took Ken's dagger.
Yeah.
And, like, you couldn't even, like, even this way you couldn't do anything.
Yeah.
It would be sad like that.
I'm thinking, though, like, instead of it being that, it would be kind of like a... You know, people have a... Like with Midra we saw just then, he had his normal sad person, and then when we fought that guy, then that's when he took the thing out, and then... Oh.
I promise you, 1,000-year voyage guided by compassion.
No. Oh, I think I finally get it now.
What?
Miquella shows us what he's about to do right before he does it. Only sometimes, though.
Lord of the old order, let us go together.
But why? Because we're clearly showing that we're not going to join him.
Heart stolen.
What just happened?
Heart stolen. I think... Remember how we had to use the Erdtree avatars thing in order to break Miquella's charm?
Yeah.
Seems like we have to do that here, too.
Why didn't this show up before?
Because we didn't get hit by his grab twice before. We only got hit by it once. But seemingly if we get hit by it twice, then he puts us under his charm. So we need to not let that happen.
Oh. Oh, yes.
Thinking about it, by the way, again regarding Kenneth, I like how we're fighting against Radon and Miquella, like the main character, like Miquella being the main character of the DLC that we've been hearing about this entire time, and we just decided to talk about Kenneth Height of all people.
Yeah, right? Right?
Well, in all fairness, how
Kenneth
could
is
we not?
feeling all that right now.
He certainly is.
As he's trying to figure out which way is south, which way is north.
You know what else I find funny? That despite the fact that Kenneth is such an idiot, right? He's also quite possibly, like, the only guy who's competent in what he'd hoped to do.
Right?
Because every
Yeah.
single person, other
Yeah.
than, like, like
Well,
his
Miquella
goal...
moved.
Yeah, he and Nepheli, like, show up together at the end there.
Yeah.
Because, like, their goals together... Even then, Nepheli well, I guess Kenneth also technically failed his initial goal to get back his fort, but, I mean, even then, he got us to do it for him.
Yeah, and you know what? He was right to kind of let it go.
Yeah. Like, it wasn't as bad as the library we were just in. Yeah, it wasn't exactly the most defensible place, but,
Wow.
But I really do like how, like, out of everyone, like, almost everyone fails at least their initial goal. But, like, you just have all these fighters, all these combatants, doing everything they can to reach their goal, most of them failing or just barely succeeding only when they die. And then you have Bach the Seamster, who just wants to sew our clothes. He succeeds. He wants to make his mom proud. He succeeds, because we help him with that. You have Kenneth Height. He just wants to find a person to roll Limgrave who's better than Godric. He succeeds. And then you have, like, of the other people who survive, you have... I don't know, there aren't that many people who survive. There's Rodrika and Hugh, but them... They're more like a... actual people who you would expect to succeed in their goals. Now, thinking about it, it's pretty funny because, like, not everyone does die. There are a decent number of people who are left by the end. It's just that a lot of them just disappear from the game, and we never actually get to see whether they succeed in their goals or not. Then there's Patches, of course. He doesn't have any goals.
Well, he succeeds in his goal of
Scamming us?
Yeah,
Yeah.
extorting people.
Yeah, that's true. He extorts us at the very least.
Yeah, he succeeds in that, and fooling Sigurd.
Yeah. Man, I bet Patches really wishes Sigurd was here in Elden Ring and DLC so that he could just have one more chance to scam him.
Yeah. Because it's relatively easy and very fun for him.
Yep.
Oh, and like the twins didn't succeed.
True, they were
Thinking
just
of
too busy.
Patches, yeah, thinking of Patches made me think of them.
Yeah, they were just too busy fighting each other.
Yeah.
Very interesting attack right there, alright. Something that I noticed throughout the whole series is that the final fight's music is always sad. Like, if it's a multiple phase fight, it could be not sad in its first part, but it always ends up sad.
And when they play the music at the end of the game, showing the credits,
Yeah.
it's always sad.
Yeah.
Or I'm just sad.
Yeah.
So maybe they could even play cheerful music like that.
True.
They could play It's a Small World After All, and I'd still be sad.
I'd be crying more just at the fact that that's the song they decided to play.
No, look at the lyrics.
It's a small world. It is.
No, but they're talking about how you look,
Oh,
where you're from. It doesn't matter because it's a small world after all. All the characters, when they come back to life and start spitting on the ground.
They're like, who decided to put this music on?
Yeah.
And then it cuts to Kenneth hiding in the corner.
Yeah. Counting his money for making the deal.
You know, Radahn's music is another one that does stand out to me. Then again, we also get to fight him a lot, so that makes sense that it would stand out to me a little more.
Yeah, if you take him down right away, then...
It gets a little less chance.
Yeah.
You know, the fact that I'm still having some difficulty against this first phase is kind of troublesome. This one attack, this meteor attack, I don't think I've successfully I was about to say, I don't think I've successfully dodged it a single time in all the times I've attempted this. As I'm in the middle of saying it, I successfully dodge it.
You remembered.
I did remember. I unforgetted.
Yes.
Not necessarily a word, but not necessarily not a word. I used a triple negative, which makes it a positive. That's not how it works. I used a triple negative, which makes it back a negative again.
Now he's just mad at you for your nonsense. Oh, stop it.
He's like, can't you use proper grammar?
Yeah.
I know I don't look like the kind of guy that would necessarily care about proper grammar, but I do. Don't judge me by my appearances. Something that I do find funny is that Radahn's swords, when you use them, do require intelligence, so it does seem that Radahn is actually one of the more intelligent people in the game. But you wouldn't guess that looking at him, because he just looks like a
big old brute.
Yeah.
Yep. Forgot to cut his hair.
Well, I think that's Miquella who forgot to cut his hair.
I guess that would be the... Oh, we saw him.
Yeah. Let's not blame Radahn here.
Yeah, that's my bad. Now he's going to be mad at me for that.
Yes.
You've not been watching me? Idiot.
I know my brother has a bad haircut, but don't put that on me, even though he is acting as my hair right now for some reason. I like to imagine that Radahn is just kind of confused as to why Miquella's on his back, but he's just going with it.
The hair would be annoying when you're trying to fight.
It definitely would. Oh.
I promise you, 1,000-year voyage guided by compassion.
Ouch. Ouch again. Ouch. Ah. That hurt.
You did good that time. Hey, we're done. Hey, now.
I blame Miquella for that.
Sister's been talking to you.
No, that'd be his aunt, I think.
Oh, your aunt. No, actually, you heard me saying that I liked her and that I was entertained by her doing that. So you're trying to entertain.
Ah, yes.
But you don't need to.
Yes, don't worry. We're talking about Kenneth Height an awful lot. That's entertaining us.
Yes, and then that doesn't mean you go turning into.
Imagine if next time we pull up into this fight, he just pulls out Kenneth's dagger, but not even like sized up to fit his hand. It's literally just the size of one of his fingers.
Yeah, and then he is kind of clean cut. So his hair is short, a little bit of stuff. You can tell he has a beard.
Next thing you know, Radon just turns himself into Moog. He's like, oh, I heard you like Moog's fight. Here.
Oh, well, I feel like, okay, cool, Radon.
Yeah.
I mean, I like yours, but okay, cool.
I mean, in all fairness, if Radon is like using Moog's body, at least that's what we think, it makes sense.
Yeah.
It'd make more sense than him using Kenneth's dagger.
Yeah. Most things make more sense than
anyone using Kenneth's dagger.
Yeah.
It's a fair analysis. That's right, I need to remember that I put on a talisman that makes it so that each time I drink, it gives me more health.
You don't forget.
Alright, deal. You know, this is a good callback to the very beginning. You know what? I just realized that I'm kind of dumb. Well, maybe not dumb.
What did you just figure out?
Radon is, you know how the horns. I mean, I guess it wasn't dumb not making this connection, but you know how the horn scent had like the divine beast dancing lion, and then we fought them in this tower, and then we're also fighting Radon in this tower, and then Radon is called the Red Lion. I think there might be. Like, I don't think that's actually important to the story, but I think the developers intended that as like a neat connection.
That's not dumb that you just figured that out. I'm still working on it.
That's fair. Yeah, I take it back. That wasn't dumb of me not thinking about that, but I thought of it now. Hello, Radon.
Hello, hair.
Yes, hello, hair.
We got a hair commercial. A before and after.
Shampoo commercial.
Yeah, conditioner. It needs like a smoother.
There we go.
Is it the sword giving you or the hair?
Good question. So, thinking back throughout the entire DLC, I'm going back to the idea I had at the beginning of the main theme being like the corruption of purity and innocence, or not necessarily innocence, but pure intentions. We have the Divine Beast Dancing Lion being an example of that, where it was used improperly. Like, it was originally intended for a festival, but then Mesmer changed it into being an instrument of war. Or at least we thought it was Mesmer, it might not have been. But anyway, there's that. I don't really think anything was wrong with Rolana. Mesmer, of course, was a very tainted individual. Golden Hippopotamus needed dental work, and I guess wasn't a porcupine. I don't know if that has any connection. I don't think so, necessarily.
You know, I just was enlightened by something.
Huh.
Okay, Fad needed dental work, but was close to Mesmer because the needles, you know how sometimes they disappear and he has all those spots.
Yeah.
They get back up. Well, see, Mesmer would use them sometimes for
Oh,
his dental tools.
yeah. That explains it. Yeah, because Mesmer would need.
Sure.
Yeah.
And where else do you put him? I mean, he only has so much space in his little mansion place.
That immediately just made me think of Donald Trump's small loan of $1 million. He only has so much room in his small little mansion place.
Put him on the porcupine's back.
Yeah. Do you remember the Family Feud? Name something that starts with pork. Or no, name something that comes after pork. Upine. What is upine?
You would say that now.
I would.
Yeah. Porcupine.
Like, I might have said that even before.
Yeah, I know, and I think that was funny.
It was really.
That was
I think it was really funny because of Steve Harvey's
Yes.
response.
I know, he is great at
He
some of
is.
those things. I mean, he makes it.
Yeah.
Who do doctors pull out of bodies? Gerbils. Okay.
And then, of course, there is the ever famous "Mommy." You can't just say it differently and have it count as two different answers.
That was hilarious. Mommy. What about what was the money one? That was hilarious. Carrying your wallet. What denomination? It was hilarious. It was really, what they said was really funny.
I don't think I remember that one.
Oh gosh. Because, okay, it was beeped on her, like, non-answer, and so it went to the other woman, and she said it, but she just said it in a different denomination.
Yeah.
Or something like that. It was hilarious. And then, of course, Steve Harvey with his
Yeah.
book, you know.
Yeah.
And family. Oh,
Oh, I think I figured out another thing that relates to the corruption of purity. The fact that my thoughts keep going off track.
oh yeah.
I
When
cannot.
you start talking about Family Feud during
Seriously. I think Radon is upset. He's like, focus on
You
me.
know what? He should be. Steve Harvey would be happy.
He would.
Oh
What if
yeah.
Steve Harvey was a boss
That was
fight?
cool. That was cool.
What if Steve Harvey was a Dark Souls
Oh,
boss fight?
against the Wheel of Fortune guy. Oh, you put them all into a ring of boss fights.
You know those videos of like everyone fighting Artorias? It would be like that, but it's like all of them fighting each other.
Yeah, I probably would put my money on Steve Harvey. Just grin at him. Big
Yeah.
draw. The glare!
The glare from his teeth and
Yeah.
the top of his head.
Yeah. Another one down. Look this way. Okay, you have to pay attention to Ron. He's really
Yeah,
getting
he is,
kicked
he is.
off. I don't blame him.
Yeah, I can't blame him either. But I think I'll go back to finally what I was saying earlier. The Mesmer, of course, makes complete sense with the whole idea of like corruption because he turned himself from the winged serpent to the base serpent midway through his fight. And we also, of course, the guy we just fought, who I again want to call Midir, Midra. He was also like a guy who had pure intentions, but then became like Lord of the Frenzied Flame against his will. And then, of course, there was the Divine Beast Dancing Lion, which we already mentioned. And then, of course, there were the jars, which was like the first thing we saw that fit that motif. And then,
Yeah, that was like for one of the first things we saw. I'm like,
Yeah.
okay.
And they didn't go away after that. They kept coming back.
Yeah.
Oh,
I
okay, well.
promise you, 1,000-year voyage guided by compassion.
You know, Miquella, I'd really appreciate it if you stopped doing that. Don't really like it.
If you're looking for attention, we have your here. So remind us that you're here.
Yeah, don't worry, Miquella. We are
haven't
well
forgotten.
aware.
Yeah. We're not
Yes.
ignoring you, believe me.
Kind of hard to forget that you're here.
Yes.
And then, of course, Miquella is like the main embodiment of the idea of pure intentions being muddled.
But muddled by his own doing.
But not intentionally. He didn't, I'm sure, knowing everything we do now, that Miquella's goal going into this wasn't to become the soulless being that he is now. I'm sure he started out wanting to legitimately help the Horn Scent and everyone. Heck, that's probably why everyone still believed in him.
Right.
I don't think if he hadn't
And why
been-
the sunflower was so sad.
Yeah.
Because it was like he tried.
Yeah.
Nicola really did try.
And then, that really also recontextualizes, the way the sunflower kept coming back. It was just, yeah.
Yeah.
Ouch.
Alright, you know what? Almost like clockwork, it's been just about an hour. I'm going to take a stand-up break.
Alright.
Now, the one good thing is you're lasting longer, so you're not doing a push-up every 30 seconds.
True.
How are your arms feeling?
Um,
Are they
Still
starting
tired.
to hurt again?
Yeah.
Are they feeling better? Yeah. Yeah. It has the pain memory.
yep. You can call it foam. Just like my knees.